Hello, readers. I try to be a pretty curious person. I like to know about the world around me, and I like to know about, well, just stuff in general. But even I don't go to theme parks and playgrounds for an education. I feel like relaxation should involve diverting experiences and not stress about the safety of the food supply. Enter the Monsanto exhibit at Epcot's Hall of Innovation. Lena and I were on one of our first vacations as a married couple, and the experimental prototype Community of Tomorrow was still fairly new. Just past the big golf ball were Innovations East, which is now a mouse gear store, and Innovations West, which is now a pile of rubble, but is on its way to being something called Journey of Water, that hopefully does not end in a toilet. Lena and I had just finished lunch, the best part of which was the French fries. Epcot had better food than the rest of the parks back then, but it was still a pretty low bar to clear. French fries were simply the least fuck-upable thing to order. Happily, all the food is pretty fantastic now. The Monsanto exhibit was in Innovations West, and part of it was this big yellow cylinder stood on end, the middle part of which was a habitat for a beetle. Like one of those big fancy aquariums, but with dirt under a heat lamp instead of water. It was a pretty big space for a single beetle, and it did not appear to be doing much. Lena and I took a closer look. What is this? Lena wanted to know. I couldn't really answer her. There were no signs anywhere, so I made something up. Maybe all the fun beetles are off for the weekend, and this is the unpopular beetle that has to work Saturdays alone because he's a bore. And even the manager beetle who makes out the schedule hates him. At this point, a bright-eyed young man in a white and yellow futuristic onesie came up. His name tag pronounced him Darrell of Monsanto, USA. He asked us, "Do you have any questions about the exhibit?" I said, "Yeah. Why is this beetle so depressed? He's not even climbing on the plants, just sitting in the dirt, thinking about death and unfiltered cigarettes." Darrell of Monsanto, USA's face lit up, having just been given an opportunity to fulfill his singular job function. He said, "This is a potato beetle. He doesn't like the potato plants because they are genetically modified by Monsanto to be inedible to him. This process saves farmers millions of dollars every year in pesticides and pesticide distribution." Tough luck, beetle. I put a hand on the plexiglass in solidarity. Lena asked, "What do you feed him?" Now, this question sounded harmless to the untrained listener, but I knew better. Feed him? Darrell of Monsanto, USA's smile fell fractionally, but he recovered. "Oh, I see. No, the whole point is that he can't eat the potato. The potato is completely safe." I raised an eyebrow. Hang on. Are you telling me that this bug is smart enough not to eat that potato, and you want me to? So you're not even feeding him? Lena's voice rose, attracting the attention of surrounding parkgoers. He's just starving in there? Is this exhibit supposed to be about potatoes or slowly murdering innocent bugs? No, I mean... Lena continued, not at all influenced by the beers we'd had with lunch. "Excuse me," she called out to a trio of teenagers who were listening in and laughing. "Have you seen the bug that Monsanto is killing while we watch? Come here, look. This is what starvation does to beetles. Makes them really boring." Darrell of Monsanto, USA stepped aside as people crowded in, and the little brown potato beetle got more attention than he likely had in the past week. "Are you, really starving him to death?" One of the teenagers stepped up and asked. "That's mean. The guy said this is how they save money on pesticides. They catch the beetles one at a time and starve them to death in this cage thing." Realizing that he'd lost the crowd, Darrell of Monsanto, USA retreated to slouch against a short, carpet-covered wall, the very picture of glum resignation. Darrell of Monsanto, USA looked so depressed. Lena shook her head. Was it something I said? No. That's how everyone who works for giant soulless megacorporations feel on the inside. I wonder if there's anything we could do for him, though. We could give him French fries. Lena frowned. But I'm worried he'd starve. This is what you get for trying to educate people in a theme park. sad, lonely cast members and beetles who can't even eat potatoes. If you liked the video, why not check out my book series, The Misplaced Mercenaries? It's a funny fantasy about kings and sorcerers, monsters and gods, and of course, mercenaries. I think you'll enjoy it.